Hello, fellow nerds. Welcome to the Meta Nerd Guild. My name is Pontus, and today we're going to talk about some Star Wars Unlimited drafting. I just came back from LinCon in Linköping in Sweden, the gaming convention, where I played Star Wars Unlimited pretty much all the time. I managed to actually win both the sealed and the limited tournament. Not big tournaments per se, but still, we were 12 for the sealed and 6 for the drafts. Still feels good to have won them both. And I figured I'll go through my draft, my deck, and talk a little bit about what happened, as much as I can remember, and just look at my deck and talk about the good things and the bad things. Maybe you can learn something. Maybe I can learn something. So let's do that. Let's start by just a quick overview of the deck, and I'll talk about some specifics. So I was playing Aura Sing green, and I had a decent amount of 2-drops. Turn 1 plays. So let's look at my deck in general, and I'll talk about some of the choice I made and get into more specific things as we go. These are my leader choices, so I didn't get any options for heroic, but turned out well anyway, so sometimes it can be a good thing almost. So I did go for Aura Sing pretty early, decided to do that because I like her, and it worked out pretty well. So my early game, sorry about the shadows and glare, but we'll work around it. My early game is pretty good, largely because I got these off aspects, which are crazy good. But this isn't bad, and C3PO is also pretty good because I do have a lot of Underworld and Bounty Hunters in this deck. So C3PO can buff a lot of stuff in this. I also have some 1-cost things. This one is obviously really bad to play turn 1, as well as the 2 Black Sun Kabbalists are as well. So if you shouldn't really count those for turn 1 plays. So I'm maybe a little bit low on turn 1 plays, you could argue, because there's only really 5 here that are this one is with Aura Sing. This one is actually decent, and the same thing here. These are actually not great, but not bad with Aura Sing, since you can kill. There are not much that can take 4 damage, so you can at least trade with them. But these two are of course crazy good. Then we have my 3-drops, which is 3 Cal's Bounty Hunters. As I said, I have a lot of Bounty Hunters and Underworld. Katanas, still seen there's got a lot of Underworld. Oh, I do have one more pseudo turn 1 play, depending on what my opponent plays. This can actually kill most of the things. And in one of the games I did actually use it as my turn 1 play. For 4, we have 2 Vanguard Range Troopers, which are really good cards, but of course, more importantly, 2 Haymakers, which is crazy. And then we have the 5-drops here. The Guild Damage team is of course good. We have the Sentinel guy, Nightwing, Wind Assailants, Grit, and then these are, as I was talking about, a lot of Bounty Hunters in this. We can actually just have a quick look. We have Bounty Hunter. It's talking, and none of these are Bounty Hunter, but there's 3 Cal's Bounty Hunter. Then another 2 of these, so they can find each other potentially. And then we have 2 of the Industrious team, of course. And then no, that's it. Yeah, no, the Guild Ambush team, of course, is Bounty Hunter. So there's a pretty decent amount. And we can look at that as well when we're at it. For the Syndicate's Spice Runners, it looks for Underworld. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So half the deck is Underworld, pretty much, or more than half the deck actually. So let's finish up with the 6-drops, of which I've already spoiled. 2 Military Riders, which are just absolutely insane. And these 3 are also really solid 5-drops, 6-drops. Well, these are 5. 6-drop, this one is 6-drop. Yeah, I've already looked at these. I messed up. This is pretty solid. For a neutral card in limited, it's actually really good, I'd say. And that won me one of the games. And then we have two industrious teams, and they came in clutch. One of the games I would have lost if I didn't have two, basically. So, yeah. But let's get into some more specific things. I'll rearrange and talk about some. These are the 5 cards that I decided to splash because we have the splash base, and all of these are absolutely insane. This is like the best turn 1 play in limited by far, I'd say. And I definitely won one of the games I played with that one. And the one that I drew it twice, and one of those times I had the initiative. And then we have just ambush, which just rocks. And of course, if you don't draw this in the starting hand, they are just resourced, almost guaranteed to be. And then you have the 3 that are ambushes, hoping to draw one of them at least. So these are like the removal cards. These are not quite, I don't really count these, but they are kind of removal. It does count, but they can usually basically only deal with small things. So like it's not quite removal. And then these 7, which are all really good. These are like harder to get to, of course, but yeah, I definitely got to playing. I played this industrial teams so many times in these 3 Swiss rounds, like at least 5 times, I'd say, in the 7 games I played, or 8 games. Yeah, I went 2-1 in 2 of my matches. So a lot of removal, and I'd say that together with like having, well, these 2 can win you a game, and one game. And these are like the solid base, of course, together with having just pretty good spread of, like the curve was pretty good with pretty good units, and a leader to match some of the stuff that made like these cards, for example, even better. So yeah, cards I didn't use. Let's talk real quick about those. I just, because it was not a big prize pool, I actually drafted this, so to speak, just because like, yeah, why not? It wasn't something great in the same pack, so I just took it because, I mean, it's not worth a lot, but maybe why not? And then these are just things that got passed to me in the boosters, which are like unusable. This one I took because like there was nothing good, and someone else could definitely use this, so I just took that. And these are actually cards I took because I was for a moment considering using it. This was something I took pretty early before I decided on my aspects, and I was considering aggression for a while, of the like half the first pack maybe, and until I decided on green when I noticed there was a lot of green being passed to me. I think there's an argument for playing this one, but I didn't feel like it would be better than any of the other 5 drops, and I didn't want to have too much. And it's just not bad. It's pretty bad tempo, so I just decided not to play it. I think 9 cost is just so unlikely to get there, and I didn't want to play that and then 2 industrious teams, so I'll skip that one. And this is just all options I could have played, but I decided that I had better stuff. This is maybe the only one that really would have fit potentially with what I was playing. So let's talk a little bit about my run. It was only 3 rounds because we were only 6 people, and no top cuts because that's how it is. And my first match was against a Boba player. I believe he was red. I actually don't remember his other aspects. It wasn't much of competition, unfortunately. He did put up a fight. It wasn't like totally ran him over. In one of the games, it was pretty close for a while, and then I managed to just like outvalue him basically. So the first game I basically just ran him over. I just had more removal and he couldn't deal with it well enough, so I just removed his stuff and eventually just run him over basically. In the second game he did start really well, and I kind of struggled in the beginning. And then there was, I believe it was, yes, now I remember, he played on round 5 resources. He played the 5/5 Sentinel to stand in the way of my, like, I don't know, my 4-drop was, I don't remember what it was, something with 4 power, and I just played Haymaker, and that's when it just started snowballing. Pretty slow, a snow roll though, but inevitably I just won that match. The second match was against Velsartha. What was? Oh, he was. Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, he's red. He was red. Believe it was red. It's so hard to remember the color sometimes. Maybe if I start talking about it. That was a really exciting match. It was super close. All of the games were really close. It's hard to remember like the details for me when I think about this, but his deck was really good and he played it real well. I won 2-0 on that one actually, but he made a huge misplay in the first game. He had lethal, and he didn't realize it. He didn't count the damage on the base. Basically, we both had lethal in 2 actions, and he had initiative. So if he had just attacked my base with his big space unit, then I didn't have lethal that turn, and he could have claimed and killed me. But he instead tried to push to get lethal in that turn, which he could have gotten if I didn't have removal to deal with this stuff. So what I instead did was manage to reverse it on him. I was thinking like, yeah, I can't win this. This is just over. That's too bad. But I managed to do my big swing with my big units, and I don't remember if I had a Sentinel or if I actually had removal for his attempt to go for my base. And I don't remember the timing exactly, but it did end up with me actually being able to take the initiative because he realized too late that he couldn't end me in one round, and I guess he didn't quite realize that I was going to be able to end him in my next action. So I had 2 units that didn't attack because I could just claim the initiative and it was over. So if he had played that right, that would have been, yeah, he would have won that if he hadn't forgotten to count damage on the base, basically. And the second game was really, really close. I don't remember much of it though. It was a long and grindy game. Both of us had a bunch of removal, and he had like. Oh, one of the things I do remember from that game was actually when the Kesselhawk came into play, because he played a big unit in space, and he was like it was looking like he should be able to kill me with it, but I knew that I could deal with it, and that's what made it so I could actually win it, because I did play the Kesselhawk, and then I had something to kill it. I don't remember. Oh, that was the Industrious team actually. Yeah, I remember. So I could just make him attack my Kesselhawk, and then I could kill a Kesselhawk. Kill his unit with the Industrious team. And then not even better for me was that he actually, because his unit, I don't remember what it was exactly, a big space unit that attacks for 6. So he actually, or 5 maybe, with I already buffed it maybe. So he buffed it up so he could kill this one in 1 attack, which meant that I actually got to attack with my Kesselhawk and do the 5 damage before it was killed. And then I also killed his big space unit, and was just from there I actually won that game, and then 2-0 because, well, he made a huge mistake in the first game, and I managed to win the second game. Oh, I just remembered something else I want to mention real quick about C3PO specifically. On one of the games I played the C3PO on the first turn. I think it was the first game actually, now I think about it. So I played C3PO, and he played an Alliance X-Wing in space and buffed it. And on my second turn I played a Callous Bounty Hunter, and C3PO started buffing it. It got up to like 3 or maybe 4 experience, and that definitely was a huge part of me winning that. and he regretted not dealing with the C3PO early on. And C3PO is super solid because like almost all my units are bounty hunters or underworld, so that was a lot of damage from C3PO in the end. And then in the third round, the de facto finals, because I was the only one that was undefeated. And there were six people. 3 people won their games. 1 person was down paired and lost their second match, so I was the only one with 2 wins. So one of the 2 people that was on 3 points was up paired to me, and that was like the de facto finals, because if he would have won, he would have gotten the best pairings because he won against me. But that was also a really good match. That one went 2-1. He played. I don't remember what leader it was. Oh no, I can't remember what it was. It. No, I can't remember what it was. I just have this like feeling of like playing a really intense game where we both had a lot of removal. We both managed to deal with each other's things constantly, and so I started with the initiative because of random chance. I rolled the die and got the initiative, and I managed to. I think that one, the first game there. Yes, the first game I did get Canyon Frontrunner in my starting hand, and he played like a 2/2 or something because it was all he could do, and I just killed it with no damage to my Canyon Frontrunner, and all he could do was play some card that managed to kill this, like an event or something that killed the Canyon Frontrunner, and I could play a Callous Bounty Hunter. So I had like a pretty good lead there, but it was still really grindy and hard, and we had to fight to actually. I had to fight to win that first game a lot. In the second game, he had the initiative, and he won that one. Also grindy game, but he actually did have. I think he had like the upper hand through like pretty much the entire game, but it was still really close. Where like if I had like a little bit better cards, or he had a little worse cards, or if he made a misplay, I could have turned it around. But we both drew really well. But him having like the upper hand of having the initiative was enough for him to get that game. And then the third game was also super close. I don't remember much of the details there, and I still don't remember what leader he played. But it was a super exciting third game for that match as well. Anyway, all I won was a booster pack because like it was just mostly for fun. Oh, and of course I did win this thing. Let's see if I can. That's fancy. A small little plaque, and of course that not that this is related to the draft, but also on the sealed deck, which was 12 players, so maybe more interesting in a way. Unfortunately, I didn't have the foresight to keep my deck built for that, so it was crazy though. I do have some of the cards just to give you an idea. I had those 2, and I had a bunch of ambushers, but whatever. That's it. That's my story about my draft win at LinCon in Linköping, Sweden. And for me, the convention is over. It's still going on at the Linköping University. People playing throughout the night, of course. They technically keep going for a while in the morning or early tomorrow, like until noon or something. But I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna just take it easy, stay in my hotel for the rest of the stay here in Linköping, and then going back home and celebrating my father's birthday, actually. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I love talking about this nerdy stuff, so I hope to do more. I'm gonna try to do more, Maybe some deck techs and stuff. I like doing that. We'll see. Maybe teaching stuff. What would you want to hear? You know, it doesn't have to be about Star Wars, by the way. It's just the thing that's mostly on my mind when it comes to what I could do for videos. It's mostly like Star Wars. So that's it for this video, and see you around.